Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 20 of my favorite 31 hard rock and metal albums of the 70s. We've been counting down each and every day here in July 2023. We've got 31 days in the month, so of course that means 31 picks. I have limited myself to only a maximum of 2 albums by any one band to try and get as many of these cool albums in here as possible. Otherwise, as you know, my entire list of 31 could be probably made up of 5 to 6 bands, right? Because there's some heavyweights for me in the 70s that just cranked out winter after winter after winter, and there's no fun in just talking about the same bands over and over again, right? Got to talk about as many as we possibly can, and this particular band's their first time making it into my list so far this month. Will it be the only time? That remains to be seen. This album, it's a British band. This is their 6th studio album. It was released May 7th, 1977, recorded at AIR or Air Recording Studios in London, England, produced by Ron Nevison for Chrysalis Records. I'm talking about Lights Out by UFO. Yes, indeedy. First ever UFO album I picked up, and you know, this is like one of those instances. This ever happened to you guys? You walk into a record shop, and in this particular case, it was now I'm drawing a blank on the name. New York City. I'm drawing a blank. Holy cow! Right down the street from where my father worked. I can't believe I can't remember the name. I'm drawing a complete blank. Anyway, it'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, went to the city in summertime. I was just entering high school. I think it was like 1980, 79 or 80, something like that, and probably 1980. And my brother and I went to work with my dad one day. He used to work in the city, downtown by City Hall. And, you know, for lunch, he took us to Chinatown to have lunch, right? And then we went to the Yellow Bag. Oh, I can't believe I can't think of the name of this place. Holy cow. I got the old. Seriously, it's way too early in the morning. Anyway, we went to the record and electronics store, and I'm flipping through the racks, and I happened to see this album cover. And first of all, I thought that the name of the band was totally cool. I never heard of UFO at the time, and I was like, "Oh, this is a pretty cool album cover, right? It's like looks like a hard rock album, guys with long hair and stuff like that. I'm gonna bring it home. I'm gonna buy it, whatever it was. It was $4.99, $5.99, whatever, however much it cost back then." And I remember we went back after lunch. My father took us back to my grandparents' apartment. They lived not that far from where he worked. So I went and I took this out, and my grandparents had this old Victrola stereo from like the Stone Age, right? And I went and put this on, and hearing some of these songs and that guitar player, and I was like, holy cow. J&R Music World. I knew I'd remember it. I'm so excited to tell you that my CD goes flying. J&R Music World. I can't believe I couldn't remember that. Holy moly, I'm getting old. But yeah, that's where we went. My father would always take me there, and I used to love going to J&R Music because they had everything you could possibly imagine. Hundreds and thousands of LPs from every band known to man, and so many I'd never heard of. And I can't tell you how many blind buys I did there just by the album cover, the name of the band, right? I just take chances on stuff, and then that's where early on I went and bought a lot of my collections of bands that I really latched onto. I bought so many, like, I bought a couple of UFO. I bought Obsession shortly after that. I went and got a bunch of Eagles albums from there. Paul McCartney and Wings. Certainly bought a lot of Kiss albums there. Certainly got a lot of, like, ELO albums and, all these other, the first Boston record. I mean, all this stuff got from J&R Music World. So, that was kind of like my go-to place, even though we lived upstate in the Hudson Valley, and my father commuted into the city every day. But whenever we would get into the city, whether it be to go visit Dad at work or go to visit my grandparents, I would be like, can we go to J&R, right? Can we go take that, half-hour walk, for however many blocks it was to go and peruse and, spend my $10 on an LP or two, right? That's what I did. Anyway, storytelling aside, this particular album, of course, features the classic lineup of the band: Phil Mogg on vocals, Michael Schenker on guitar, Paul Raymond on keyboards, guitar, backing vocals, Pete Way on bass guitar, and Andy Parker on drums. So many UFO staples on this album. Hard to, it's funny because to me, every album they did with Schenker in the 70s to me is a classic, and I could have put all of them on this list, but again, I'm trying to limit myself, right, to not just include 4 bands for this entire list. But, starts off with Too Hot to Handle, one of their great anthems, great riff on that song, big, bright, just chugging kind of song. Just another Suicide. Lots of cool keyboards from Paul on that particular track. Really good, memorable song. Then you got the kind of the ballad, Try Me, which is like really mellow, lots of piano, but man, great vocal from Phil, and that guitar solo from Michael is just amazing. So melodic, so gutsy. Then, of course, you have the classic title track. Arguably, there are times where it's my favorite. That or Rock Bottom are generally my favorite UFO songs. Maybe Pack It Up and Go, right from the next album, Obsession. I mean, Lights Out is a classic. There's a reason why everybody talks about Lights Out. There's a reason why Lights Out has been covered by so many metal bands, right? It's just such a great, great track. Killer lead guitar and riffs from Michael Schenker. Just amazing. Then over on the other side, you got the kind of almost kind of poppy Getting Ready. Good poppy rocker, right? Good chorus on that. Then you have a cover of the Love song Alone Again. That's probably my least favorite song on here. It's not like it's a bad track, but I would have rather had another kind of UFO banger on here, right? But again, it shows a different side of the band. Cool that they covered something like that. Then the terrific Electric Phase, another kind of down and dirty, metallic kind of hard rock metal song. That's one of the underrated tracks on the album. And then, of course, Love to Love. They're epic, kind of proggy. Just amazing, slow build, another great guitar solo, love the keyboards. Amazing track, great vocals. 36 minutes long. This is a just totally killer album and easily one of UFO's best. So how about charting positions? In the UK, this made it to number 54. In the US, number 23. This was, I believe, their highest charting album here in the States. And in Sweden, this one made it to number 31. No certifications for this, but definitely an album that got this band noticed. Unfortunately, this was kind of like the one album that really got them a lot of attention. I think Only You Can Rock Me got a little bit of radio play on the next album, but for this was kind of, for whatever reason, the momentum they had on this album and to a certain extent on the next album was kind of stifled, right? Because again, Michael kept leaving the band, and and then you move into the 80s, different guitar player. Music's changing, right? It's just, for whatever reason, this is one of those bands, along with Thin Lizzy, that really should have been really big here and just never quite did that, right? So, and of course, you got the really intriguing Hypnosis album cover artwork, which is, this and the album cover. Actually, Hypnosis worked with them on a whole bunch of albums right around in the 70s, right? And all of them are equally weird and puzzling, trying to figure out what the hell is that supposed to be, right? There are the guys in the band, right there. So yeah, that is my pick for today. Pick number 20, UFO, Lights Out. Let us know what you think of Lights Out down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today, pick number 20. And we'll see you tomorrow with number 19. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together. All the damn time. That's right. Anyway, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, because today we've got a solid jam-packed day of new album reviews for you today. Probably I might break the record today for how many I'm delivering to you guys. There's going to be quite a lot of them, because I'm just trying to get caught up as much as possible, and I've been having time to listen to things and just I want to just get caught up and because I feel like already the stuff that I'm talking about has already been out for a little bit. I don't want what happens every year, like I get so overwhelmed with stuff at the end of the year that I'm still covering, like I think into March I was still covering 2022 stuff, right? I'm trying not to get to that point, right? So, but like I said, I've got another 15 sitting here that I haven't covered yet, which I'd like to get done, and they keep coming in. So it's so stay tuned. Please spend some time. These are all pretty short videos, 5 to 10 minutes, if that. Check out what I have to say about some of these, and go listen to them, and hopefully you'll find a new favorite album. That's kind of the point of doing these, and it's about supporting the artists, right? So they need the recognition, they need to be heard. They're putting a lot of time and effort and money into making these albums for us, so let's not ignore them. Let's go give them a try. And like I said, hopefully you get something out of these that you really, really enjoy for months and years to come. So anyway, that's my thing for today. Stay tuned for What's Hot with Sea Tranquility, a plethora of new album reviews. But today's pick is UFO Lights Out. Till tomorrow, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you then. Have a good one. Bye-bye.